I'm Chloe.
And I'm Cosette. And this is the 14 Steps Away podcast. Hi, friends. Welcome back.
Hello.
We are doing okay today.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a little less than okay on all fronts.
Yeah.
Probably.
Maybe a little somber.
Yeah. There's a lot going on personally in every regard all the time. And so current events make that worse.
Yeah.
But that is not going to get down on our mood today. We are going to have fun and play a little game and turn this day around. Really. Redeem it, I think.
Yeah. Do we do updates today?
I was going to say, do we have anything to chit-chat about?
I'm trying to think. Should we assess the TikTok ban?
Yeah.
Now that we are
our 14 hours
TikTok ban.
of TikTok ban. Yeah.
I was scrolling TikTok. Picture me scrolling TikTok. And I was watching one TikTok actually that was like, I literally don't even have time to like read the comments. I'm scrolling and laughing and scrolling and laughing. I'm enjoying my minutes on TikTok. I wasn't scrolling and laughing because all mine were like talking about how awful it was, but I was scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and consuming as much of my TikToks as I could. I'm not kidding when I tell you, I literally was like, I just sat because I was working all day. So the night was spent consuming as much of the media as I could. I was like stockpiling it for the winter. I needed as much of the videos as I could get because who knew when I would see them again.
Yeah. Well, I feel like a lot of people felt this way. I thought it was a midnight kind of thing.
I thought so too.
So when it was like 9:30 and I got the first notification that TikTok stopped working, I was like, I kind of just thought I had the evening.
I never got a notification.
You never got the little white screen thing?
No.
Yeah, I got 2 about it going down and then the 1 about it coming up. But
yeah, I just got the 1 when I came back. Yeah.
I definitely thought we had more time the night of. But I feel like we hit about 14-ish hours of it being down. Something like that.
Yeah.
And then we got it back.
Longer.
Thank God we were sleeping for most of it.
Thank God. Well, mine didn't come back as soon as everybody else's did. I feel like other people's were working and mine wasn't. So that's why I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
But mine did like, and mine stopped working before some of the other people's too. So it just was whatever. But yeah, I think I have a few notes on the TikTok ban.
Okay.
In the short time, I just have notes. 1, James Charles. Did you see that he snuck into TikTok when it was banned?
No.
Twice. He made 2 videos while it was banned.
I did not.
And he was like under a blanket. And he was like, I have to make this quick before they come get me.
Oh my gosh. No, I did not see that.
I assume he just got on some VPN and it worked.
Ooh, but good point. On that topic, we should think about the notable ones.
Yeah.
The notable ones to that sound. The whole like the Family Guy sound about The Godfather. Where people were like doing their secrets.
I agree. We should mention those.
Yes, yeah.
We must address the wrongdoings of our TikTok creators.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the big ones.
Like the scandalous ones?
The scandalous ones, yeah.
Lexi.
That was definitely the one I saw the most pushback about.
I don't interact with her. So I wasn't like, oh no, like,
yeah,
I love her. I was just like, okay, well, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I didn't think anything about it. I would say over the years over the last like recent year, I guess, I have been more neutral about her. Before that, I really was not a fan.
Mm-hmm.
And that's only because she's just not the vibe for me.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
I'm not trying to curate that vibe. And like we've talked about before, like if that's not what I'm looking for, then like I'm not going to consume your content. And like I'm not getting inspiration from you and I don't feel like I'm learning from you. So like I'm good. That's it. But over the last like year, I guess, when she started like dating Gabe, I mean, they're cute, so I think I engaged a little bit more. So I definitely saw the video that she made, and then I saw the fallout of people talking about it after. But I didn't react any sort of way because it's like, obviously.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't surprise. I guess people were freaking out about the coffee thing, but once again, what does that matter to you?
Mm-hmm.
As a person taking in the content, like, what does that matter? And Aspen did the one too. She was talking about It
She
wasn't.
found out her brother-in-law was crazy at the same time we did, is what she said.
Yes, but she wasn't to that sound. But like in a short amount of time before it, she had posted about some old YouTube video. And it was like a morning routine. And then people started like trashing her about how like, because she said something about how it's not like what she did every morning. Like it was glamorized, basically.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, duh.
yeah, you're going to do like all your fun stuff
They're
on your
influencers.
Yes.
Like,
and so it was like she got Starbucks that day and she did this and she did that. And it was like, she said something about just like in her little chit chat that she didn't do those things like every day. And people started freaking out once again. And she's like, I did work out regularly. So it was in my morning routine. But like, if I didn't do it every single day, what's that matter?
No one has not
Yes.
no one, but most people don't have an every single day routine.
Yes.
I also think that's like, duh.
Yeah.
Like that's common sense.
That's what I thought too.
In the sense, like, when people vlog their vlogs, they're only showing the fun
stuff,
parts.
yeah.
Like they're not, like if I'm doing a daily vlog, I'm going to pick a day where I'm doing fun things.
Stuff, yeah.
I'm not going to pick a day where I'm going to be at home all day.
Yeah. Yeah. All of the ones that were like exposing secrets, I definitely was like, obviously. I honestly didn't feel like there was anything like crazy. I'm trying to think about other random ones. I feel like there were random like relationship ones, but it wasn't like anybody big. I felt like.
Did you see well, I saw one, it was these two girls, apparently they had a podcast together, but then they hooked up, so then they had to stop having the podcast. I don't know who either of them are.
Yeah, doesn't sound
also
any sort of way.
Someone else posted. I really didn't like care for any of the people who were posting things. It was like nothing. None of them were like
I
interesting.
didn't care either. I feel like a lot of people thought this one mattered. I didn't keep up with her when she was famous or when she got big, and I didn't know about any of this. But like Charlie D'Amelio said that her
anxiety
wasn't
pin.
an anxiety pin. Yeah, it's like
which also duh.
Like who is taking in this content and assuming that it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I just can assume what's actually happening.
I agree. But I think with the Charlie D'Amelio one, I think that one's probably because her audience was younger.
Yeah.
And so obviously her living in LA and like being around people and in the party scene and in the eye of, the media and whatever, she was partaking in these things. But her audience, generally speaking, was younger.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
they were always quick to defend her no matter what.
Yeah.
And so I think it was like,
yeah, that's what she said. Like someone else did.
She was like,
yeah.
I don't even know how that came up.
Yeah.
And I guarantee because of like during that time, like I feel like 2020, I feel like her followers were so quick. Anytime anybody criticized her to any extent, they were quick to come up with oh my gosh, I can't believe you'd say this. She has anxiety, whatever. You know what I mean? So I think that's just how
like that's obviously.
Yeah, that's just how that happened, I guess. But
yeah, I don't know. I thought that it was. I mean, I didn't really know what was going to happen, obviously. I didn't really have an expectation for what was going to happen. But the 14 hours was not what I expected. Definitely didn't expect to get it back the next day. And yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of parts of it, but I guess I don't really have any more I want to say about it.
I do.
Okay.
I want to say that I keep seeing the videos about how TikTok is different now and how it feels like your parent went through your room, so like you don't know what's changed, but it feels different and it feels off.
Yeah.
And my algorithm is weird. Like I don't know what's. Normally I have a really good mix of knitting, wedding, funny, style, like all the things that I like.
Yeah.
I have a good balance.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding when I tell you I was scrolling for like over an hour earlier. Sorry. And it was all wedding invitations. All of it. Every video. I was like, which I was knitting, so I was just like scroll, knit, listen. Like I wasn't like skipping them for an hour. It was just like playing. But I was like, that's really weird. That's never happened before. Yeah. Normally I have a really good balance.
Like one single TikTok. Or like like theme.
And I was like, am I on like a saved folder or an explore page? Like, why is this keep happening?
I have seen a lot of people talking about that. I haven't necessarily noticed anything personally. I know people were talking about how they weren't seeing ads as much, or like, I don't know, it was like random things. Yeah. I haven't noticed anything personally, and I do feel like I did spend some time on TikTok, just like, I was just bored, so I was on TikTok. But I haven't noticed anything on mine. But I do feel like mine is kind of all over the place, depending on the week or day or whatever, so.
Yeah. Obviously there are other changes that don't need to be mentioned.
Yeah.
But I will say Instagram Reels. We
Yeah.
talked about this. Neither of us had ever been on Instagram Reels
Mhm.
until the TikTok ban, and I wasn't planning on getting on it because I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I wasn't planning on getting on Instagram anyway. But I was like, I've never been on Instagram Reels, so let's see.
Yeah.
And I was like, the first couple videos, I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, they were
Yes.
all weird.
Yeah.
And the comments were weird, and like everyone was weird there. And
Yeah.
Adam was like, why are you acting like you've never been on Reels? And I was like, because I haven't.
Yeah.
Why would I? This sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks so bad. And I could tell because after however long, say 30 minutes, I was on it that night. The next day, I checked Reels to see if anything had changed.
Updated, yeah.
And it did. I will say the Instagram algorithm and technology in general is like advanced. So obviously, like, it picked up really quickly. That was not my vibe.
Yeah.
And so the next videos I saw were like Emily Kaiser and like fashion people and
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
Still not the same as TikTok
Yeah.
because there are just certain features that TikTok has that Instagram, you can't post those types of videos on TikTok, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like also like the raw and like honest TikToks and like the talking TikToks, none of that translates over to Instagram. People don't do that there because they know people there.
Yeah, yeah.
So Instagram Reels overall was a bust for me, and I won't be back.
I got on it kind of out of curiosity just because like at the time it was probably like the morning of right before the TikTok ban was canceled. I don't know, whatever. It was like 9:30 the day after it got banned. And I was like curious because what was going to happen? Like how were the content creators going to move forward in that, like, the fact that, yeah, people on Instagram, like, we're not posting the same content on there. So like, how are we going to handle that? And like, because I don't want to do YouTube. Like, I don't know. Nothing felt right. So I got on it out of curiosity to be like, okay, is everyone moving here? Is it kind of like how when you get on Red Note, how you see it on there, like, refugees, whatever. I don't know why they have coined that, but it was not like that. And I was like, okay, so no one's moving towards this. Everyone's just like neutral. I feel like people that did also do YouTube were just doing YouTube, but I didn't feel like everyone immediately went to Reels and the same content was there. That's not it. And it won't be like that because no one would be comfortable posting the same things. It's a different audience. But yeah.
The comment sections were the biggest part that was lacking to me because I live in the comment sections of TikTok because the funniest people are there.
I do love
like,
reading people's comments.
So many funny people and like also so much camaraderie. Like,
yeah.
If you're talking, like if the video is something that you agree on or whatever, and like everyone in the comments is like, oh my gosh, same or whatever, like agreeing, I feel so comforted there. And then whenever I went on Reels, I was like, what is going on in these comment sections? You people are boring.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, get a personality, please. So I guess that's all I have to say about the TikTok ban.
Okay.
Was there anything else? I think there is. I just can't. Oh, I tried to go get stamps today.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get stamps because it's a holiday.
Oh.
I forgot that it was a holiday. But whatever. Let's see. What else? I got my nails done. Nobody can see them.
Cute.
I don't like them. Okay. But I didn't want to tell her I didn't like them because she was too far in and she was talking about her boyfriend. And I was like, oh my God, I can't stop her. And she was talking about how her cousins were like crapping on her boyfriend because they're like, why do you meet people online? You're so desperate to get a boyfriend. And they're like in their 20s and she's in her 30s. And I was like, why are you letting them talk to you like that, girlfriend?
Yeah. Put them in their place.
And she said that her daughter's father,
yeah,
she said that he has like 4 or 5 kids with different women. And he's not in any of their lives.
Oh my gosh.
And she said he's 37. Or no, he's 42 now. He was 37 when they had her.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, she hasn't talked about him to me at all. I didn't know his story.
Oh my gosh.
Curious.
Nobody knows her. So I feel like I could say this, especially since she said it to me. I didn't mention this to her. But she was like, she randomly said that she told her boyfriend, I don't know how this came up. We were talking about her boyfriend and traveling and whatever. And like, but like, she was like, then I look up and she's like, yeah, and I'm not on birth control. And I told him that like, we can't because I'm not on birth control because it's not the same as it, like, it's not the same here as it is wherever. I don't know where I think she's from Vietnam. But she was like, it's just, you can just like go get one every day or whatever, but like here you have to go to the doctor. And I was like, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then her boyfriend was like trying to buy something from Amazon for her, and she's like, no, you can't get that from Amazon.
Oh my gosh.
She was like, yeah, I have to go to the doctor. And I was trying to like advocate for the queen, and I was like, well, there's a lot to learn. I was like, there are a lot of different types. You should go to a doctor so that they can tell you what the pros and cons of all of them, and you can decide what's best for you.
Do something safely. Yeah.
And I was like, if it makes you feel any better, there's not a lot of education on it here either.
Yeah.
So.
And I feel like that's normal. Like, I don't think that's weird to have to, like, go to the OBGYN.
No, and I think
that
makes sense.
Yeah.
I just think that, like, maybe she's uncomfortable with it
Yeah.
because, but I thought it was random that she mentioned it to me.
It is. Go girl, I guess.
Go girl.
I think she's talked to me about how her daughter wants a sibling.
I asked her if she wanted any more kids, and I told you she said that if she doesn't have a man by 35, she's going to do a hit and run.
I
was like, okay, slay sister. That was her words, by the way.
A hit and run? A hit and run on, like, Broadway or something?
Yeah, she said she's going to go to Nashville and do a hit and run. And
do a hit and run.
I'm like, do you realize how that sounds? I was like, okay.
Okay, yes,
Nobody quote her on that, I guess.
I need to get my nails done tomorrow, but this one's gone.
Aww.
I think I'm going to do, I have two that I've been wanting to do, but I think I'm going to do a pink chrome.
I was going to do pink chrome, but I didn't want to pay extra $15.
I
just did pink.
I don't want to, but I saw Katie. Yeah. Her last two are the ones I want. The gold ones, that's what I wanted to get. I was like, that is so cute. But I think I'm going to save that for next time because, like, so fun. Or maybe the time after that. Probably the time after that. But, yeah, I think I'm going to get pink chrome and just suck it up and pay the extra and hope they don't ship because it was so cute.
I know. I've been seeing pink chrome all over my Pinterest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we jump into our activity?
Yes.
Okay, guys. Our activity today is that we're going to play We're Not Really Strangers with you guys. For you guys.
For you guys.
I guess. Technically. And if you don't know what that is, let's see if it has a little description. Okay, I'll read it. Do you really know your best friend? How well do you know your mother or sister or anyone else close to you? We're Not Really Strangers is a purpose-driven card game. 3 carefully crafted levels that allow you to deepen your existing relationships and create new ones. Okay, so it's just a little card game. I haven't played it in a long time, which kind of makes it more fun. Because after I play once, I'm like, okay, well.
And I don't think we've ever played it together.
I don't think we have either.
Woohoo!
I think I've only played this game twice.
I have only played it in, actually, now that I think about it, kind of weird circumstances. Not actually. It's only weird once, I think.
I had a weird one.
Yeah.
One of my 2 was a weird one.
One of mine was weird.
Yeah.
I guess I have only played it like 3 times, and like 2 of them were like normal, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it should be interesting. I'm gonna go through and read the things again, just because I haven't played in so long. Set aside the final card. Done. Sit facing one another. Well, we'll podcast the way we do. Stare deeply into each other's eyes. Seriously. Stare into each other's eyes. The first to blink draws first.
Oh, no. I'll probably lose because whenever I think about a staring contest, I always lose.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Did I blink?
No.
Okay.
You open your eyes so wide. Why is it impossible to make noise when you laugh when you're my eyes are big? I almost wish you guys could see us right now.
I was gonna say, imagine if they were watching that.
I'm actually really glad they were. I think you win or lose or whatever.
The first to blink draws first. Player A draws a card, player B answers. Alternate back and forth until a minimum of 15 cards are played for each level. Once 15 cards or more have been played per round, feel free to advance to the next level. Make sure to keep a pile of used cards separate to avoid confusion. Okay.
I wasn't listening, to be honest.
I draw a card, you answer.
Okay.
I draw first. So player A draws a card and player B answers. Okay. I didn't shuffle them just because we haven't
Fair enough.
used them in so long. Okay. Wild card. Think of your favorite brand of cereal. Brand or type?
Brand is stupid.
Brand is
Let's
like
do
Kellogg.
type, yeah.
Okay. Think of your favorite brand of cereal. On the count of 3, say your answers out loud, both players.
Like my favorite?
Yeah.
That's a hard question, to be honest with you, because I don't remember what mine's called. I don't know what it's called, but I'm gonna like give it a go.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
The
Fruity
Special
Pebbles.
K with the chocolate in it. Fruity Pebbles are good.
I love Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah.
I
love
cereal.
a lot of cereal though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like pretty much all of them could be my favorite.
I love cereal.
Mm-hmm.
I guess this might be easier not like this.
Do you want to hear a story?
Of course.
One time we were at my grandparents' house and Cash is a gremlin, my little brother. He eats everything.
Little.
Like little to me. He eats everything, and so that's why his name in my phone is Cash Can, because he's like a trash can, because he'll eat all your leftovers. Like he'll eat whatever you give him, basically. And I think that's like normal for boys, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, when we went to my grandparents' house, they would like get groceries that we wanted, and my grandpa always eats Raisin Bran, and we wanted Reese's Puffs. And so we got Reese's Puffs, but we switched the bags and put Raisin Bran in the Reese's Puffs box and put Reese's Puffs in the Raisin Bran box. And because we wanted Cash not to eat them, and I knew that if he like took it out of that box, he would be like, "Oh my gosh, this is Raisin Bran." And then if he took it out of he wouldn't pick it out of the Raisin Bran box.
Yeah.
And so we put it in there, and then my grandpa woke up the next day and he tried to pour himself a bowl of Raisin Bran, and he was so mad. He was so mad at us, and we were like, "Shh," trying to like get him to like be quiet, because he was trying to yell, be like, "What is this?" And we like switched it, and we're like, "Chill out." And he was so confused, but we were like so annoyed because we were like, "Be quiet." Dude.
Yes. This is a secret.
Anyway,
This wasn't a prank on you.
that was my little cereal story.
Okay. I guess you go for.
Oh. Okay. Finish the sentence. Just by looking at you, I'd think blank.
I say it about you.
Yeah.
Okay. Ugh. Why is that so much pressure?
Do you want me to repeat it?
No. Like how intense is that adjective supposed to be? Just by looking at you, I think you're creative.
Thank you.
Such a cool girl.
That's awesome.
What do you think my go-to karaoke song is?
But there could be a lot.
There could be a lot.
Because it
I feel like I have to answer.
If I'm thinking generic, it would either be like, I mean, I'm thinking like, and if I'm thinking by artist, it could be Sabrina Carpenter. It could be Chappell Roan. Could even be Olivia Rodrigo if we're thinking pop princess. I'm feeling Sabrina Carpenter, but I don't know which song of hers. I'm just going to say Juno.
Okay.
I'm wrong, but that's okay.
I would say that karaoke always very heavily depends on who you're with, confidently.
For sure.
But I think that if I was just choosing a song, it would be safe to say that it would be a Taylor Swift song.
Okay.
And then I'm thinking like early, of course, like Fearless-esque or like Red-esque probably. Speak Now, perhaps. I don't have a specific song. I would never do karaoke by myself, so kind of a moot point because I'll always just like
that's true.
Like as a unit, I'll always decide with someone what to do.
True.
So like alone, I don't have a song because I would never do that.
But there are people who do, you know.
There are people. I'm not them.
Nope.
Okay. I feel like level 1, I always have ones that I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Okay. What reality show do you think I'm most likely to binge watch? Explain.
Well, hard one just considering there's so many options. And binge watch also I feel like hard because usually you watch when they like come out, so it's not like a binge. but I guess like Love is Blind or the other one that I don't watch that I don't remember the name of. I mean, there's just so many. What would you say?
I would say when I think, because I watch so many reality TV shows, but I think when I think binge, the only one that I have binge watched in a while
Kardashian?
is Secret Lives of Mormon Wives,
Oh, true.
because that one I watched in like a day and a half.
yeah, it
And
like both came out.
yeah, and Love is Blind, I used to say I would binge that one, but lately it's been kind of rough. The seasons have The Ultimatum is a good binge watch though.
Oh, I think you've told me about
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
That one, if we're thinking romance, Ultimatum. If we're thinking regular reality, probably Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yeah, that was a quick watch because it was just like, oh my god.
And
Sure,
there's
yeah.
like a few episodes.
Yeah. What about me intrigues you?
What a broad question.
What a broad question.
Let me think. Do I give just one answer?
Yeah.
I was gonna go with a couple, I think.
Okay.
Your passion and your drive, and I'm trying to think of a good descriptor for what I'm thinking. Intrigues is also a hard word,
Yeah.
because I'm thinking like, what do I like? I don't know.
Yeah, I do think intrigue's hard because it's like, I guess this is supposed to be
A get to know you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. Like
Yeah.
intrigues is a word I would use like with like a significant other, I feel like.
Yeah.
Intrigue.
Yeah, I agree. Which
And
I
yeah,
think-
I guess it's like get to know you is a little
I'm
little
gonna
past
say I'm gonna say that you're normal. Like normal in not a bad way. Normal, and there are so few people that like, I guess maybe I'm not normal. I don't know. Like me and Adam always talk about the fact that like no one acts normal. Like
Yeah.
no one acts the way you think they should act.
Yeah.
And I think for the most part, you think the way I think.
Yeah.
And so I usually don't have to worry as much when I'm around you or like when you're involved, because I know that our heads will be in the same spot.
Yeah.
Exhibit A, the Dr. Pepper on the counter
And yes.
yesterday.
And I
or
think
wherever.
that is specifically intriguing
Yes.
because I would say that considering a lot of things about us growing up,
Mm-hmm.
it's very interesting that we ended up so similar, but like grew up so different.
Yeah.
And so I do think it's intriguing that it's like we've gotten to a point where it's like this outside of just like, obviously we've just known each other for a long time, but it's like this was so different. So
Yeah.
how are we like this? Yeah.
For sure.
Intriguing.
It is intriguing.
Yeah.
Am I answering?
Yeah. You're asking. Yeah.
Okay. What subject do you think I thrived in at school? Did I fail any? You should know these answers.
I feel like this is asking the basics because I just want
Yeah.
to say journalism.
Yeah.
I feel like you were perfect at English, and I feel like you were really good at French too. And then, like, I feel like you were like good at history. Like, it's just history in high school, I feel like. I don't feel like you were bad at anything.
Tread lightly.
Like, the only thing I would think is that maybe you didn't enjoy like a sciencey thing. But I wouldn't have thought you were bad at math. I would have thought you would have been good at math. You weren't really in classes though, so.
True, we weren't
Yeah.
really in classes together at all.
But I guess that's not the point.
No,
Yeah.
but I definitely say that if I'm thinking core subjects, I definitely thrived in English, literature, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just because I'm good at it and I like it.
Yeah.
And when I didn't fail at any of my
Yeah, of
classes,
course.
but when I think of my like worst ones, it's kind of hard because I did not do poorly in any of my classes at all. But I was not good at history in the
Okay.
sense that I didn't, which is interesting looking back now, because at the time I hated history. Hated. Like I probably got a 1 on my AP US history exam. I never even checked the score because I knew I failed. But like I literally there was no point of trying that because that was just rough. But I just it's interesting looking now because now I feel like where I'm at as an adult, I do find myself looking back at the past and how history repeats itself because it really does in all aspects of life. So it's interesting now.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was like, this is so boring and old. And I
Yeah.
think it's because of the teachers. Like I
was
think
gonna
that
say, yeah.
if someone who like truly has the gift of teaching presents the information to you in a way that like
We never had a passionate history teacher.
we always just had coaches.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry.
I also think that I feel like mine kind of depended on the year because it was like what we were focused on. Like there
Yeah.
were some history classes I enjoyed, and then there were some that it was like, well, it's just old and depressing.
Yeah.
But others were like intriguing.
For sure.
So
Like I do
Yeah.
like history of whatever.
Yeah.
Like I took a class in college on like the history of social movements, and that was really interesting because it's like a subsection. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
like it's not all one thing. But
yeah.
I will say if I'm thinking like my worst subject was probably math.
Oh.
Actually, I don't know. Math and science are kind of even there. I did well in both of them, well enough, but I don't feel like I feel like it took me longer to grasp some of the things. Like I think that I needed like someone to explain it in a different way. Like
Yeah.
chemistry, I didn't think I was good at. I thought I was really bad at it. But then whenever I would go to her like little Saturday things, everything made sense. So I think that it was just that she was better as a teacher one-on-one rather than
Yeah.
a teacher to a group. So like I don't think I was even really bad at it. I just think that like
You need it.
I needed
the
it taught
extra-
differently.
Yeah.
And then math is just always confusing. I don't know. Numbers are weird. I don't like thinking about them.
For sure.
They freak me
Another
out.
one that I feel like always depended. Like,
Yeah. On the
Yeah.
everything depends on the teacher, honestly.
Yeah.
Now I want to answer for you though.
Okay.
I think you thrived at everything. But I think you thrived probably at English as well. And maybe science, considering the path at the beginning. And then failed. I don't think you failed at anything because you were pretty much good at everything. And you did a little bit of everything too because you did like art
Yeah.
and whatever. So I'm just going to say math too.
Yeah. My only thing that I was like, and that was, I feel very strongly, I had two awful math teachers.
Who did you have?
The old gray one.
Yeah. The one that got
And-
fired?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had
Well,
the one with the brown hair that
you know their names.
well I wouldn't possibly know anybody's names except like Miss Meadows and Miss Gregory. That's it. I don't remember anyone's names. But she was a younger woman, brown hair, and she
What year
changed
was
her
this?
name the year after. So I would have had her
She taught math?
She's taught math. I would have had her sophomore or junior year. And then she changed, like, she got married, and Mia had her the next year.
I remember all my teachers' names.
Oh my God.
Like when I think of math, freshman was Miss Shanklin. Who
I
was
don't remember
across from the really mean one. Stockard? Yeah.
Ooh,
And
I didn't have
then-
her.
I didn't have her yet.
Yeah.
I had Shanklin, and she liked me, but she did not like a lot of people. And then sophomore year, I was blessed with Miss Webb. She's an angel on this earth. I had her. And then junior year, I had Miss Hamby, and she voted for me for Student of the Week. And then senior year, I was in dual enrollment. So
I had, you see, I don't even remember the lady's name senior year. Like, I did.
I don't remember my dude's name senior year. He was not a real person to me.
I had, Yeah.
Wyndham?
Miss Wyndham. I had Miss Wyndham, and then I had the other one.
Uh-huh.
And then there's a gap somewhere in here. I'm
Junior
only
year?
remembering 3 teachers.
You only had 3 years of high school.
I'm not really sure who the other person was. But yeah, I would say that math was harder for me. When I got it, when it clicked, I really liked it. I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it when it clicked, yeah.
And like I enjoyed having homework when it clicked.
Yes,
Like
for
if I
sure.
had like a worksheet or like, worksheet, but like a few pages, but I knew how to do it, I'm like, period.
Mm-hmm.
Checked off the
Done.
list. Loved that. But Yeah, I would say that math was not my strongest suit, but I was really good at English because I could just write a paper. Like, yeah, I could just write a paper, no problem. And then I was always pretty good at history and science. I feel like I had to work harder for, but I was still pretty good at it because I had like enough passion to balance out the difficulty. So,
One thing
that's
I
fair.
love about learning is like the when it clicks moments, because
Yes.
it's like your brain is working in overtime and you're like racking your brain trying to figure out what's happening, but the moment it clicks, it's so rewarding.
Yeah.
Because I feel that way. Obviously, I'm not learning in the same way that I used to, but I like knitting is
Yeah.
like a thing that challenges me. But like once I got it, I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
And
so
every time
rewarding. Yeah.
and every time I figure out a new thing in knitting, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah.
the like light bulb.
Yeah, for sure.
Did I? Was it? Oh, yeah, it's your turn to read because I read the. Yeah. We're never going to get through this game. We just be chatting.
I don't like.
Is it bad?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how messy do you think my car is? 1 being cleanest, 10 being a complete disaster. Explain.
Okay, well, it's. I haven't been in it in a minute, but the last time I was in it, and you guys.
You haven't
cleaned
been in a
them.
minute. You were in it yesterday.
Oh, I don't observe things. Yesterday, I don't remember what it looked like, to be honest with you, but I remember what it looked like a little bit ago, and that was the time before last, and I just remember it because you were moving the, like, cups around. But I'd say, well.
Maybe do an average of all the years you've known me.
Okay, let's preface this by saying all of the time, all of high school, it was always, is 1 clean and 10's dirty?
1 clean, 10
Okay.
dirty, yeah.
All of high school, it was a 1. And then, in my eyes, because I just think that. And then, honestly, it was never bad post, like, whenever I was in your car, like, whenever we were in college. So I'd say still 1, maybe 2. And then I feel like ever since you guys got your current car, I feel like it's got a little downhill, and maybe it's because you guys share it.
I was going to say,
because the dogs are in it more.
yeah, I would say the dogs are in it more, but my big thing is just like, I do not want to bring extra stuff upstairs. When I accumulate extra things when I'm out, I do not want to bring it upstairs. And
That's fair.
I think that is a big thing that plays into it, is that like, if I have trash, no. If I have my backpack, my purse, my jacket, whatever, I'm not also bringing in my trash.
Oh.
Because I'll just throw it away the next time at a gas station or something. So I would say things linger a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm just going to say 5. I think that's neutral.
Yeah.
Because I don't think
that's
it's
fair.
dirty. I just think that, like, everyone gets messy.
I got just a lot of, there's just always stuff in there. And I do think it's fair. It's like, yeah, it's a shared vehicle. So, like,
I will
the amount of
say
mess from one person times 2.
I'm bad about not bringing, like, items up. Like, some of my Christmas gifts are still in my car. And, like, some things that I, like, those buckets I told you I got from work are in my car. Like, items are in my car.
But you're not the
but
trash, yeah.
I don't leave trash in my car because it irks me. Like, if I come downstairs and Adam has left a soda can in the car, I'm raging.
Yeah.
I'm like, I do my best to keep this house a home.
I think that's very fair. I think I just need to have more hands or deal with it before I get home. I feel like I just have so much stuff.
I also always go, I don't know if you ever watch these videos. I'm sure either I'm weird or everyone our age did watch them, or me and my siblings are weird. But if my siblings are listening, which they probably aren't, they would remember and know what I'm talking about. Do you remember that YouTuber who was like, another cup of coffee? And he was like, we can't let people know we sit. Like, it was like him acting like a mom, having to like clean the house before guests come over. Okay, you don't.
Okay.
His name's Brandon. He's weird.
Okay.
Anyway, there was a sound that he said. Oh, he said, everyone says this about like taking in groceries, 1 trip, no exceptions. I always have him and his voice playing in my brain as that character every time I have too many things to carry, because as women, we always have so much to carry.
So much stuff.
When I come back from work, I have my purse. I have sometimes like an extra bag if I had to bring my laptop or something. I have my like lunch. I have my like water bottle plus any extra drink and trash. So I always have stuff, but I am very much 1 trip, no exceptions, especially because we live on the 3rd floor.
Yes.
So I just have to like suck it up and hold everything. And then by the time I get to the door, everything's like falling out and I'm like kicking the door trying to get Adam to like let me in.
Yeah. I think it's fair.
So
I'll accept that.
Yeah.
Based on the recent state, I will definitely accept an average or a neutral. That's very neutral.
I think it's fair. Also, because dogs are so hard to clean up after in a car, to
And
be
it's
honest.
never like dirty.
No.
It's just got some baggage.
Yeah.
But like if I get cold or hot somewhere, I have a backup shirt. So
You had a whole
I'm
outfit
just
for
prepared.
me.
I literally had a whole outfit. I'm actually just prepared.
Yeah,
That's
you're
what
just
I call it.
really prepared. Okay. If you were to buy me a present, knowing nothing about me other than what I look like, what would it be? I feel like it's a bad question for us.
That's a bad question for us, but okay.
If you just like say you saw me on TikTok, and
Yeah.
like, this is the gift I'm gonna get this person.
Yeah. Next time I see someone on TikTok, I'm buying them a present.
You should.
We'd all be happier. I feel like I would get like jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone that does jewelry is always a safe option. And then like I feel like that's always like in a video, even if your outfit changes or like your content changes or whatever, like you almost always have jewelry. So it's like that's a safe option. If I
True.
knew nothing.
I agree. I think it's a good one. I would wear it too.
What character would I play in a movie?
Like, are we saying pick a movie and you're that character? Like, I'm putting you into a movie that already exists? Or is this like general?
Dealer's choice.
I'm gonna try to think of a movie character. This is a problem for me because I don't watch a lot of movies. And when I do, it's in one ear, out the other, unless it was a life-changing movie for me. So I'm gonna have to try really hard to think about a movie that A, we've both seen, and B, that I
True.
know anything about. Well, maybe I won't do that. Maybe I won't think of putting you in a movie that I already know because that's going to be really hard for me. There's too many characters in the whole world. So I'm just going to say that if you were in a movie, you'd be the I think that you'd be like the sensible one where like things are going wrong and like you're trying to prevent them from going wrong by like saying like offering your advice and saying things and telling people how to do it, but no one's taking your advice because they're just like, oh, she doesn't know, like she's just being dramatic, or she's just whatever.
Like,
They
it's
like
just the wrong
they
answer.
like
Yeah.
they just like push you off, and then you end up being right, and then they like all die and you survive because you're smart.
Wow. I am a star.
You are in my eyes.
I'm the only one that's alive at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
I'm a star.
Because no one listened to you, so that's their karma.
And so true.
Yeah. You're like walking away and there's fire behind you, everything's blowing up. But you like are glowing. Could be the fire, who knows?
Who knows?
Smelling like ash.
Perfect. That's my dream.
But at least you're like bronzed and glowy.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah. I got a tan while I was walking away.
Okay. Oh.
No, I keep forgetting to.
How many of the level ones do we do?
15. I counted. I think we have 9.
Oh wow. This is a stupid one. Do I seem like a cat or dog person?
A cat person.
Thank you. Thank you. Everybody knows this about me. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we can get enough from it. If MySpace were still a thing, what would my profile song be?
Profile song?
Yeah.
I know not a lot of songs. I mean, I know a lot of songs. They're just,
Already. Yeah, you've already had
I
a
was
song
gonna
one
say,
too.
like, it'd be Taylor Swift, but I don't know what. But it really depends on the day.
Yeah.
Like, depends on the vibe, because it could be Megan Thee Stallion.
So
like,
true.
It could be something else it could
Yeah.
be, I would say Zach Bryan, but maybe not
Maybe
anymore.
not these
so,
days.
Maybe not these days. But it could be a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I don't even know that I want to answer it.
Yeah.
I think you should read a new card.
Okay.
This kitty's looking very sweet right now.
Kitty is looking very sweet. Okay.
Stupid again?
Yeah.
What does it say?
Do you think I was popular in school?
I think we should do another one. More than me, given post-grad.
What compliment do you think I hear the most? That is a good one.
I think the compliment you hear the most is that your style is really good.
So
Like, I like your
sweet.
outfit. You
Yeah.
know?
That's really, really nice to say.
But I can think of 3 compliments whenever I think of, like, what people would say to you or, like, what people have said whenever I'm around you. And I feel like they'd be like I said, something to the effect of your outfit or, like, you look so good or you look so cute or, like, something like that. I feel like that just because you always look pretty.
Thank you.
And then or complimenting your hair.
I love my hair.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I really appreciate
Have a little confidence booster question
that.
after the car situation.
Yeah. Situation.
What does my phone wallpaper tell you about me? Would you like to see it? As a
I feel like I
refresh?
have the vibes, yeah.
Or the home one. Oh.
Okay. It says that you are, I would say, curated
Okay.
and organized because it's not chaotic
Thank
at all.
you. I really like that.
Like even just the backgrounds, like take out everything else, it's still just like it's just not chaotic. So it's just like put together, I would say.
I really appreciate that. That is good. I didn't swipe to the next page.
Did I?
Did
No,
you?
I answered. Okay. Do I remind you of anyone?
Uh,
I
Like
guess it
a
could be anyone.
celebrity?
Yeah.
it's a good question, actually. Because I'm not thinking of anyone like you. I'm just thinking of, like, people that let me think of TikTokers. If there's someone that, like, when people are like, oh, you look
Yeah.
like this person.
Yeah.
I hate I don't like when people compare me
I've
to
written
the
mine
person.
down and they're both really awful.
The person that they compare me to on TikTok is really evil, and I think I just need to change my piercing soon. I think that's the problem I'm facing with it.
I've been compared to when I was like years ago, I was compared to Alex French, which that's fine. But the other one, I wrote them down.
You, years ago, would remind me of Alex French. Not anything like her now, though.
Yeah.
I feel like
She's-
now, maybe... there is a girl, I don't know her name. Ooh, what's that girl's name?
I've been told I look like G. Hanelius, the girl from
G.
Dog with a Blog.
Hanelius?
Yes, her. Someone's commented that, and someone's also commented Stella Berry.
I don't know who that is.
That's good. It is not a nice thing for someone to say. I mean, she's not ugly, but like I would prefer not to be in that realm at all.
I saw a TikTok today, actually, that was like, can we normalize
Yes.
not telling people that they look like unattractive celebrities?
Yes. It was like if I don't look like Zendaya or Jennifer Aniston or what was the other one?
I don't remember.
There
but
were 3. It was like, then just don't say it.
yeah, just don't even.
If it's
mention it.
not like
not someone that everyone agrees is
Yes.
attractive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that you remind me of these people not based on looks, but based on
valid. Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah.
So vibes, I'm gonna say you remind me of the first TikToker that came to mind was this one. Olivia Boblet. She volunteers at like dog shelters
No
and
idea who that
fosters
is.
puppies.
Okay.
And she always is very clean and has cute nails and jewelry and her hair and her outfits. She just always looks very clean and put together.
Okay.
And my next one is Hailey Bieber.
Oh my god.
Because like you guys just have similar energy.
I'm such a lucky girl. Like, oh my god. I don't even like know anything. I don't keep up with her, but like I know that is a praise.
Yeah.
Anyone with a mind knows
Yeah.
that that's a compliment.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Sweet.
This isn't a question. It says, reminder, let go of your attachment to the outcome.
Okay, I think we do a question.
I don't like that one.
I've been scared to get the writing or drawing ones. 'Cause I didn't want one of those.
Do I seem like a morning person or a night owl? Why?
Seem is a hard part of that question, considering I know you.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to, if I take us out of the equation and if I just met you, what would I think? I think I would think that you are a morning person.
Mhm.
But I would say that you are both persons because you wake up early and also will go to sleep late.
That's true.
But
I will say
you wake up early more regularly than I think you go to sleep late.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, statistically speaking, the likelihood of morning person is that I would be morning person given the, like, ratio.
Yeah.
Because if I'm with you, I'll stay up late. But, like, in my own apartment,
Yeah, same.
I'm out by 10.
Yeah, same.
So, okay, our last one of level 1. Woohoo, woohoo.
By the way, if you've never played this, level 1 is, like, I guess the category of it is perception. So, that makes sense.
Oh, it's another not question.
Oh.
Why do they keep doing this to us?
It's a writing one, but, like, the questions are fun.
Oh, yeah. It's like quiz. Oh, no. I don't like that you're laughing.
What do you think is the hardest part of what I do for a living?
That's a hard question. Like right now in this moment or like in the next couple weeks?
Like, right now in this moment.
The hardest part about what you do for a living right now in this moment? Let me choose my words
There's
wisely.
so many.
I would say not being valued
True.
for your work, seen, or understood. I think not being valued, seen, or understood in that position, because the work that you do is not always. It's a lot of it is behind the scenes in a sense. So a lot of it people don't realize how much you're doing. And I don't think they value it because they don't know it exists. And I don't think that you feel understood because they can't understand it unless they're in your position.
Yeah.
Or unless they have empathy or perspective.
Yep. And they don't.
So I'd say those things.
Yeah, very true. Retweet. So now we will move on to level 2. And what's the category of level 2?
Connection.
Okay.
We're going to connect. If you have, when was it the moment you realized you weren't invincible? Kind of corny.
Invincible.
I guess like a turning point for you and like that was like a, whenever you're young and naive, like a bubble burst.
Yeah. I didn't know what level that was on. Like, is that like the first time I fell off my scooter? Like,
I know. Yeah.
But I think that that's probably a fair one. Was the going to college process. And how applying to college goes.
Yeah.
I would say that up until then, things just kind of worked out to some degree, and it stopped working out. Yeah.
I think that's really hard. Like, the transition from high school to college is really hard in general because you're making very large life choices at that time. And when you are the one paying for your education or you're in charge of the financial side of it, it is really rough. And those decisions weigh very heavily.
Yeah.
And so I think, like, that obviously impacts where you apply to, where you end up going, what you end up doing there.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. But I think that transition is really hard for a lot of people because it's the first time you actually have to make a decision for yourself. Whereas, like, the next step has always been drawn out for you.
True, yeah.
Up until that point.
Yeah. And I guess there's no point in being vague. The college that I wanted to go to, I did early decision for, which, like, if you don't know, early decision, like, locks you in, I guess. And you, like, can't deny it if they accept you. But I did not get in. So then I didn't go there. So that is, I would say, the first time it felt like something really big went wrong. That was the plan, and the plan did not work. So yeah, like the first like big thing that I feel like you make a decision on is like where you go to college. So I guess that's what I would say.
Yeah. Fair enough.
It's a wild card. Admit something.
Admit something?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I forgot that one was not for me, so I like the card a lot more once I realized that
I don't think
deliver it
that
to
I
you.
have much to admit.
Yeah, I don't like that there's no criteria.
So I was going to say, one, anything that I would admit that I would be uncomfortable sharing on camera,
Yeah.
you probably already know.
Yeah.
You probably already know anything that I would say on camera.
Yeah.
Because I would have to be comfortable saying it.
Yeah, that is
well-
a hard one because it's like it would be admitting to
Yeah.
everyone. Yeah.
I
But we
have
could-
something that comes to mind. You already know it, but I'm not saying it in front of a group of people.
Okay.
I
I think we can do a different one if you want. That's kind of a bad one
Okay.
because of the circumstances.
Yeah.
Of the podcasting circumstances. I got an easy one for you to redeem it. What's your father's name and tell me one thing about him?
Awesome. My father's name is Jared Blake.
Jared Blake.
The Jared Blake. And obviously following that, I have to say
have
he was
to.
on season 1 of The Voice. That's the fun fact.
Yeah.
I guess I could give you a fun fact that you don't know about him.
Okay.
Let me think. Fun fact you don't know about my dad. There's probably a lot of
Yeah.
things you don't know about my dad, but I don't. Ooh. One time for Halloween, he dressed up as a woman, and he was wearing a teeny tiny little mini denim miniskirt and a long red wig and like a torn up tattered flannel like tied around his like belly.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Super
I wish I had a
classy.
picture of that.
I love that.
We did at one point. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Perfect. I love that.
Okay. Sorry, Dad.
Outed everything.
I outed your biggest secret. Okay. Do you think the image you have of yourself matches the image people see you as?
I think probably yes.
Good.
Because, I mean, like, obviously I know all the other parts that other people want it, but I think that in a general rule, if I'm, like, thinking of myself, then that's probably how I expect other people also perceive me, like, on majority of things. So I would say yes.
Okay. We got easy questions.
Easy questions.
Not easy.
What's your mother's name? And tell me the most beautiful thing about her.
My mother's name is Summer Blake, and the most beautiful thing about her, I would say is her faith, because she's unwavering. Like, she's never doubted. I feel like she's always been very like committed to her faith and her spirituality, and she's never questioned it. Maybe she has, I'm sure everybody does, but like from my perspective, it has been unwavering support and trust. And in that, I think the second thing that comes to mind is from her faith, and I think that she's very giving. Like, when she has the means to do so, she will always go above and beyond to give to others or do more for others than she does for herself.
Yeah.
So that is what my answer would be.
Very sweet.
I like how the like dad one was like, "What's a fun fact about your dad?"
Yeah.
And then the mom one was like, "What's her best quality?"
Yeah.
Like, it's like the dads are just goofy.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever told someone I love you but didn't mean it? If so, why?
I feel like this is very broad, and so I feel like I'm not perceiving that as just relationships. So I'd be perceiving that as like just anyone.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's not a specific situation that comes to mind. I don't think, because like I'm sure it's just like, I don't know, I guess probably like more like in high school where it's just like normal, I guess. Like, yeah, like you love your friends, but it's just like there's probably not much thought that goes into it, I feel like, in younger friendships like that. I will say that makes me think of a time that I did not say I love you because I did not mean it. And that was, I might have told you this, but I don't know, this would have been this past year at some point. A coworker told me that she loved me, and I didn't say
Yes.
anything
I do remember that.
because I wasn't expecting it, so I didn't know how to handle it. So I just didn't
I
say
think
anything.
I can think of the person's name, but I might be wrong. Obviously, I'm not going to say it.
Yeah. But like I can't think of a specific time that I did say it and didn't mean it, but like I'm sure it was just like some very surface level like friendship or something
Yeah.
at school at some point where it was just like,
Yeah.
love you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't really mean anything. But I can't think of like I would say I'm a very loving person, so it'd be hard to
Yeah,
not just like
I
have
agree.
love or admiration for someone in some regard.
I agree. I kind of feel like it's like, I don't know. I kind of feel like sometimes people take like, I love you too seriously. Like people
Yeah.
like growing up, like my parents were really like, they got really weird about one time I said I love you to like my 4th grade boyfriend or something. Like I'm like, what, 10?
Yeah.
And they were like, that's really serious. Like you really like have to think about that before you tell people that, like whatever. And I always thought that was interesting because like even now as an adult, I still don't agree
Yeah.
with that sentiment. Like I'm kind of just like, I'm a very loving person. And so like even with like my friends, it's always like, I
Yeah.
love you, like
Yeah.
drive safe, be careful, whatever. So like
yeah.
even if that was, so I don't know. I've been always kind of like loose with it.
I agree with that because I feel like in the media, like not social media, but just like things that you're watching, I feel like it's always discussed and perceived as though an I love you is more serious than a in love with someone.
Yeah.
And I've always been on the opposite side of that, which makes sense in the sense of like you can love people that you like, you can love family and friends and all of those things. But like to me, loving someone is not really that big and serious. Like I was literally watching a show a couple days ago where someone was like saying that it was just like that's a big thing. Like I don't want to say that I love this person because I just don't know, whatever.
Mhm.
And it's like I don't think that it's hard for me to have some level of love for someone. Like I have love and appreciation. Like not that those necessarily go hand in hand, but like kind of they do. Like there's a lot of things that like they are doing something and they are positive in my life in some way. And so I do have love for them. Like, it's just not that serious to like love someone to me, I guess. Like, yeah, like friends.
Yeah,
It's very
I
normal.
agree.
Like, even people that I'm like not close to, but like I see them like interacting with someone that I do love. I'm just like, wow, I just love you for that. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. So, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you more afraid of, failure or success, and why?
Failure, duh. Like silly, stupid question.
Yeah, it's a bad one.
Bad one? Why?
Okay, we're doing a different one. What are you still trying to prove to yourself?
I don't know. I guess I'm still trying to prove to myself.
That's a big one.
Yeah,
Could be a big one, yeah.
I think it is, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
I also don't really know. Like I don't know. I feel like I don't think there's anything I'm like actively trying to prove to myself, but I think that like I don't know. I guess I'm trying to
Yeah. I don't think that.
yeah, I don't think there's anything I'm trying to like prove to myself
Mhm.
because I'm not like actively ever trying to like I don't know.
It was
I
another
feel like
bad
that's
one.
got a negative connotation.
Okay, we're not talking about the parents anymore.
I'm done. Love
I'm
you
done
guys,
with
but
the
I'm
parents.
done.
Oh my gosh,
There's
it's
another
a reminder.
parent one?
There was a parent and a reminder.
Level 2 sucks, guys. Work on this.
What is the most unexplainable thing that's ever happened to you? Hard one to think about, but could be a good one.
I would say this is I don't think this is normal, but and this isn't directly happened to me, but it's like a family thing. And that is that whenever someone in our family passes away, one of the pets in our family passes away. And I think that's really odd.
Yeah.
And it's been going on since like my grandmother was like younger. So like cuz whenever like yeah,
Oh my
like, it's always
gosh.
been that way. And that's why I think one of our pets, my hamster died. And my mom was like, "We need to check on Aunt JoJo." And she passed away. Like
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't like immediately. It
Yeah.
was like either like the day after or whatever, but it was like it's always like that. And so now I always get fearful when like pets are not doing well. and my mom's cat is really old, and I'm like,
I'm a little uncomfortable about that.
hey, you should just hang on a little longer, because I don't want to
That
know.
is really freaky.
And now it's like, I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
Uh-huh.
And my mom has she remembers all the examples, obviously, because she grew up with this being
Yeah.
like a thing or whatever. And so she was like, oh yeah, when my aunt blah 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 passed away, this dog died. Whenever this like blah blah blah, this dog died. I'm like,
That is crazy.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't think that I would have one for that, or I'd have to think a lot harder. But
Yeah.
that's crazy.
yeah. And it's not every time an animal passes away, a person dies, but it's conveniently anytime a person passes
Yeah.
away. An animal has just passed away.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay. What is a compliment you wish you received more frequently?
Okay. That's a really good one. I don't know what the answer is. Let me think. I mean, I don't feel like I'm actively ever wishing for this, but I feel like everyone would want to hear this. Does that count?
Yeah.
Like, I've never had this thought that I wish someone said this to me, but I think that if I heard it, it would be crazy. Like, I wish I was more like you. That would be like a crazy compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
like, I wish, like anything about like, I
wish
wish
I was more like that.
Yes, yeah. And it's like a trait that I had.
Yeah.
Then I think that would be.
Yeah, because it's complimentary to
Yeah.
like your personality.
Yeah, and it's like someone like looking up to like an aspect of you in some
qualities you
way.
possess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's good.
What title would you give this chapter in your life?
Well, I guess right now the big thing is wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So, guess my chapter would just be like engaged.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
Engagement.
I like it. That's a good one.
Level 2 has the most annoying ones.
Yeah.
apparently. What would your younger self not believe about your life today? Like, let's say,
Ooh.
not like child, let's say like high school. What
Yeah.
would your 15, 16-year-old self not believe?
I'm leaning more towards be surprised by than like
Mhm.
not believe, because there are things that I'm like, I probably would have expected that for myself, not in like the ways that it has happened, but like not everything would be all that
Yeah,
surprising.
so, yeah.
But I would say, teenage self.
Yeah.
I have two. I would say that one would, depending on the age of my teenage self, one would be that I started working with mom and then have left working with mom, or like will be leaving working at that company. And I think that would be very surprising to myself, because even when I was there for like a year, it was still like I would go to the bathroom and I'm like, I literally went to this bathroom when I was like 15. That's crazy.
Mhm.
Or like whatever, where it's like I literally work here.
Mhm.
That's crazy. And I think that it would be surprising to know that I started working there, everything I went through, and that I'm leaving it. I think that would be surprising. Or my other one would be that we live next door. Like a very basic one, but like,
no, I
like
don't.
imagine going to our younger selves at a sleepover and telling them that we live next door right now.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
That's so cute.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. I was literally thinking like myself would be like surprised that I'm like living with Adam before marriage, like because like me
Yeah.
at that age,
Yeah,
would have
that's a
been
good
like,
one, yeah.
but like because I think that a lot of the parts of like navigating young adulthood and that kind of thing, like early 20s and whatever, I feel like me in the past 2 years probably has been like a lot of growth, obviously, but
Yeah.
like I feel like there's a lot that has changed about like I feel like to an extent I was sort of like stuck in my ways, I guess.
You're like kind of learning things for yourself right
Yeah.
now. Like you had ideals, and it's not that you're not stuck to those. It's just that like you're deciding what
Makes
works
sense
for you.
me.
Yeah.
I feel that, but I think that my younger self would be surprised about that, because especially because I've always been such a rule follower, and to be honest, obviously that's like a big part of like the Christian faith and that belief. And I think that in a lot of ways, a lot of the things that I followed when I was younger or thought when I was younger was because I was scared of what my parents would think if I thought otherwise or if I did otherwise. And I don't think I'm not scared of that anymore. Like,
Yeah.
I think that they value my thoughts and opinions as an adult, and I think that like maybe they disagree with some of the things that I do, but I don't think that they're like I don't think the judgment is as harsh as it was. I think that I have changed a lot, but I also think my parents have changed a lot. So, I think that that's interesting,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that us living next door,
Yeah.
like that would be so
That'd
crazy.
be crazy
I
to
wish
tell
we
ourselves,
could go
yeah.
back in time and tell us that.
Yeah.
Like we could go together and we
Yeah.
could be like, guess what, guys?
Yeah.
And they'd be like,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That would be crazy.
Ooh, there's so many things that like myself I feel like wouldn't
Come here.
like my younger self would not believe. Like there's so many things that but not even about me. I just feel like about like the future,
Oh,
like my
yeah.
family dynamic and like everything, like
Yeah.
all of the things that have changed in like other people's lives.
Yeah. I think there are a lot of things. Like if you broke down like before knowing a person, like if we go back so far that I'm like I didn't know X, Y, and Z, but like said like this is what happens in the time between
Here and
you
there.
now and me then starts and ends. So many things. Like that'd be
Mhm.
crazy. Or like I don't know.
No, yeah.
Everything that can change in that amount of time is crazy.
Yeah. From that age to where we are now,
Yeah.
a lot has changed.
Yeah.
Very freaky.
You're kind of making me get closer to the mic. We don't want to be like that. Okay. What question are you trying to answer most in your life right now?
What am I doing?
Fair.
Uh-huh.
Valid.
Like not even in a like, well, yes, in the job way, but like what am I doing in the sense of like where am I going to live?
Yeah.
What do I want to do?
is next
What do
for
I
me?
want to work on? Do I want to go back to school? Do I want to like pursue this job? What do I want? What am I doing? Do I want to buy a house? Do I want to live in an apartment somewhere else? Do I want to like what am I doing?
What is my calling right now?
Can someone just give me a list of steps to take and tell me what the best, most probable positive outcome will be?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just do that one.
I'll just do that.
I'll just
Easy.
pick that. Thank you.
No thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make all decisions for me.
Mm-hmm.
Free will?
No.
Don't need her.
No.
Choices? Ugh.
No.
Decisions?
Unnecessary.
Okay. What is something you wouldn't want to change about yourself?
Okay. To go very broad, I guess I would say my creativity, but then like I would dial that in to be, I guess, like my craftiness, because a lot of people just aren't crafty. They're just like very technical or whatever. Like people have their different talents and their different traits and all of that. And I would say that like being creative and all that means in so many ways, but like just having the passion for crafts, I love that because I can just make things. And I think that having something like that as you go through adulthood, because like when you're young, you can do sports and you can do clubs and you can have all these things that you're passionate about, but some of those don't carry on. And I never really had anything. I don't feel like I didn't do sports or anything growing up. And so like having something that does carry on throughout like the ages, like you can always have a craft of some kind that you can be passionate about. And it's not like you don't age out of that. And having like a hobby that you don't age out of, I think is very, very nice. So
I think that's a really good point. I didn't consider that because, like you said, there's never been like, for me too, like a sport that like,
yeah,
whatever, like you can carry on or like teach to your children or your grandchildren or whatever, or like talk about and share these memories and whatever. And being able to do certain crafts and hobbies and such, like it's useful and it's fun and you can carry that on for ever.
Yeah, like if you play a sport and that's all you know and that's what you put your time and energy into, that's totally fine. That's lovely. I'm sure you made a lot of friends in school. But like at a point, I feel like that kind of stops carrying on to the next stage of your life. But I don't feel like I've always done a craft of some kind. and that will always carry on. Like, I'll always have like the passion to learn something or do something or create something, and I think that's very nice.
Yeah, I agree. I think part of that is like when you grow up with like crafty people.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like my stepmom was always doing like little DIYs and crafts growing up. And like we always had like a huge craft bin of like markers and papers and whatever to like do stuff with.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fun.
Yeah. I think that's, yeah.
We've done 11 of these. There were so many that we had to skip though.
So many. What do you crave more of?
Time.
That's a good one.
Yeah, one of my biggest fears is like wasting time
Mm-hmm.
or like not using my time effectively, and I definitely like procrastinate in some areas, and so that contributes to that issue. But yeah, I have a fear of not having enough time with my loved ones or
Mm-hmm.
in general, like wedding planning or like not enough time in the day even
Like not
to
enough
get everything
time
I
to
need
soak
to
in
done.
everything, but also like feeling stressed and needing to
Yes.
move through things, but like
Yes.
feeling like everything's happening so fast, and it's
Yes.
just like,
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to feel it and be in the moment and like,
but not be stressed.
but yeah, exactly. It's hard to do both because there is so little time. You don't have the time to feel
To
it
enjoy it.
sometimes when you're on a timeline.
Yeah, for sure.
What has been your earliest recollection of happiness?
Ooh. Gosh, I have a really bad memory in general, so I feel like
Yeah, earliest is a hard one.
it should be earlier than whatever I'm gonna think of. Like happiness. Oof. Yeah, I really don't remember much. The first thing that came to mind is just what I'm gonna say because I don't know. I don't know how old I would have been. I'm leaning towards like a 4, 5-ish. So I guess that's pretty fair. But it would be just hanging out with my 2 aunts whenever I guess they would have been like teenagers. Hanging out with Amber and Elizabeth at the farm that they lived on. I don't think that we were living there at that point, but it was like there were a bunch of houses on this farm, and my grandpa worked at that farm, and so we all like lived there. And I just remember hanging out with them, and like they were older than me, and so cool, and had all these friends, and like just cool. And so I remember like hanging out there a lot, and them like having friends over, and we would just do stuff. Like there was a pool there, and there was a 4-wheeler, and like I remember staying up waiting for Amber to bring like us food after she got off work, and like I guess the first thing I thought of was just hanging out with them as a child.
Oh,
But I don't have siblings, so I guess that probably checks out.
Hmm.
That my memory would be
that is sweet
with them,
though.
yeah.
I don't think my first memory of when you say siblings, that's so funny to me because when I think first memory with siblings, it's probably anger. Because when you're like young.
Yeah.
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 Anyway, we only have one more for you to read, one more for me to read, and then we'll be level 3.
Okay. And we can try to speed run that a little bit. If you could have it your way, who would you be with? Where would you be, and what would you be doing? Ooh, that's a really good one.
In a like dream world?
Yeah. If you could have it your way, who would you be with? Where would you be, and what would you be doing?
In a dream world, I would honestly just be like traveling the world. Like money's not an issue.
Yeah.
So I would be with and like everywhere. Like we're traveling weeks on end.
Mhm.
Like going everywhere.
Yeah.
So I would be with Adam and you and Justin and Allie and Paige and I guess Jarrell and Jocelyn so that they cannot feel left out. That's the vibe. That's the group.
That's the vibe.
And that's where we're going everywhere. And and we all are rich. So
Yes. Yeah.
like we all have like unlimited funds.
What is our first 3 hits?
First 3 hits?
Yeah.
Well, that's hard because they have to be near each other if they're first 3 hits. But top 3 hits
Yeah, top 3 hits.
would be
Yeah, true. Like, yeah. Like, because money's not a problem,
We've
so we can
already
go anywhere.
discussed I'm not good with maps. So let's pretend that I know what I'm talking about. Like, because Asia's really big. I don't know where Japan is, and I don't know where Korea is.
We don't need to, because we have so much money that we don't have to go
So,
anywhere in
like,
order. We
let's
just
say-
go wherever we wanted and fly
Let's
back
say
and forth.
Japan/Korea for one of the tops.
Okay.
Probably Japan. And then my second top is going to go with Amsterdam or like Norway or some Scandinavia, something of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
And then my third one, I'm going to do 4. Third one is going to be Iceland because I've always wanted to go to Iceland. And then fourth one is going to be like Paris, like France, Italy situation.
Yeah.
Okay, fifth is going to be somewhere tropical, obviously.
That's what I was thinking.
I just can't, my brain can't think of somewhere.
But like, yeah, somewhere that I wouldn't think of.
Mhm.
Like, I want it to be somewhere that people go and they have success with, but I don't want to have to think about planning or the safety of it.
Oh, no,
I want everyone else to just be like, I had a really good experience here.
Yes,
Go here.
We have
That's where
an
I'm at.
itinerary of only successful and not like touristy spots.
Yeah.
Like niche cool spots.
And we're not planning it.
No, we didn't plan or pay for it.
We just have an itinerary to follow and we know our schedule and that's it.
Someone just told us where to go and everything worked
And
out
everything
perfectly.
is perfect.
Like,
Everywhere
there
we
was
go is
no
perfect.
travel issues. There was nothing.
No. There's nothing harmful that comes with being
Yeah.
on a trip ever.
No, of course
Ever.
not.
No.
Especially
Everything's
one like that.
Yeah. Okay, one more for you, I think.
Okay. Are you lying to yourself about anything?
I don't think so. The only thing that I could think of is the realisticness of figuring out like the job situation and that I just will have to do a lot of work to figure out the job situation. But I think that's just because I want to ignore it and it just work out perfectly all the time. But
feel that.
I think that everything else is just like going just the way it should be. So I
Good.
don't really think anything big is, I feel like some people could have a crazy answer to that one. But I don't think I have anything big.
What's level 3 called?
Level 3 is called reflection.
Okay.
Okay.
It was dumb. First one already off to a bad start. Yeah.
Okay, question. How do our personalities complement each other?
Our personalities complement each other because we are one.
Because there's nothing to compliment when you're the same.
Because we have the same thoughts and the same opinions. And so when we are in a group setting and something is said and we lock eyes, I know what she's thinking.
I love that.
Or if I
And I love how that's followed us through life.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
thinking about all the times that I have had the comfort of knowing that I don't have to worry because you're there.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Or when I start a sentence and I think, nope, not going to finish that thought.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Or they just complement each other's well.
They're just so perfect.
We're just perfect because, and anytime I am like, I've told you this before, but anytime me and Adam like, okay, I'm telling my side of a story or like something happened. Say something happened at work or something happened with a friend or a family member or whatever. Say I'm retelling it to Adam. Adam's always a devil's advocate. He is never like understanding what I'm saying. He's a good guy. What can I say? But that's not what I need to hear.
No.
And when I tell him these stories, sometimes he's like, he's a defender of the perpetrator.
The other partner. Yeah. The
and I'm like, no, you don't
That's not what
get
I'm
it.
telling you that for.
And then he'll be like, I think you're reading into this, or I think.
Oh my God.
And then I tell the story to you, and you're on the exact same train of thought.
Yeah.
And so then it leads me to believe that we are just perfect.
Of course.
Or he is a man, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, knowing the way a woman's brain works is going to be different. Like, we know women. So whenever I tell a story about an interaction I had with a woman, and I'm like, that was kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't think so. But
It's
if
like,
I tell
it was weird.
You're like, that's weird.
Yeah.
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 So I think that we just work well together.
Very much. My only other thing was, you mentioning the whole, like, think you're reading too far into this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never reading too far into it. Because it's always, like, If it's about it's about a woman and it's a man saying you're reading too far into it. Like the bad meeting I had, well, there's so many. One of them that I had, and he's like, you're reading too far into her. I'm like, no,
You don't get
I'm
it.
telling you,
This is
I know exactly what she means.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's no reading into it
Yeah.
because it's what she said. You just can't read, apparently.
Yeah.
I am taking the words at face value, and you are living in a fairy tale.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah. But I would definitely agree with all of that.
Oh, and I guess we complement each other in a way that where we aren't the same. Well, I guess we are, but we aren't. I would say generally speaking, I am like an organized person and I function well. But you know when people say like you can like not think or like worry when like you're out with your man,
Yeah.
because like that's how I feel when I'm with you.
I love
Because like I feel like sometimes, because like I can think so much and then I get to a point where it's like I get to a point where I get like overwhelmed or overstimulated. But when I know that you're around, I know that even if I get overwhelmed or anxious about something, it's gonna get taken care of because you will take care
Yeah.
of it. So
You're like, I can clock out. There's another.
yes.
Yeah.
Like when we were putting together invitations, certain things, I was just like, I'm just glad Cosette's here. Glad that she can just like, 'cause
Like-
it gets to a point where I'm like, I don't care anymore. Like I'm done with like nothing happened. But I'm saying like my brain gets so like mushed
It's
with
just
all
so
the
many
ideas
things to
of
keep up
things.
with. Yeah.
And then I'm just like, but I know that it'll all get done.
Yeah.
Taken care of.
We're just perfect.
Yes.
And we complement each other perfectly.
Yep. That was our first one.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We speed through it.
Speed through this. Okay. What do I need to hear right now?
Ooh. There's so many things I can't say, but I am still very stern on my thought of my secrecy.
What the heck?
Not about you at all.
That's a secret. I hate secrets.
Okay, you can bleep this part out because I'm just gonna say this one. My first one is not a serious one, and it's just that I was just gonna say how when you were talking to me yesterday, like you can. I guess you don't have to bleep it. You can still call me. I am not falling off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
We will still be talking.
Yeah.
But that was my not very serious one. I don't know if I have a serious one. Let me think.
Yeah, you're gone in my mind. I won't speak to
I've
you again
written
until
off.
the wedding.
Like phones don't exist. You blocked my number, and we'll never speak or see each
Yeah,
other
'cause
again.
I'm taking it so personally. I will be blocking you the second you're gone. Because I can't live in a world in this building where you're not here.
If we're not in the same apartment building, then I die.
If you're not next door, you might as well just be.
Yeah. Like,
I don't even know. you
clearly I see how you feel about me, so like.
It's obvious you don't want to be a part of my life.
Yeah.
Blocked. I'm protecting my peace.
It's just gonna be so hard on me. I'm just gonna cut you out now. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna leave it at that one.
Okay.
Because it might be jokey, but it is for realsies too. Please still talk to me.
Oh wait, I just read.
Okay. What do you think my defining characteristic is?
Defining?
Defining.
Your reliability. I think you're
Ooh.
reliable.
Okay. I'll take that.
Because I think there's a lot of characteristics that could define you, but I think that like I just think reliable.
Okay. That's what's come to you. That's what's speaking to you, yeah.
What do you think my superpower is?
Ooh. That's a good one. I think that your superpower is like I think you're just so capable of thinking in the sense of like I feel like you're very calm and patient and understanding and like communicative in times that I feel like I want to be, but it's just like nothing's while things can be a big deal and they can feel big to you, I feel like you handle things with grace. And that um like nothing feels like the world is ending all the time, I feel like. And I feel like everything is a big deal to me, but it's like you just fix it. Like if something's wrong, you just do it and it's done. But it's like it is like everything is a cherry on top for me, but it's like it's not a big deal. And so like just seeing like daily things like with you or with Adam or like with the both of you where it's just like your interactions, it's just like it's just so peaceful, I guess.
Thank you so much. That is a huge compliment, only because I was not always this way. And I've really been working on it. Like,
Like
most,
you're very intentional and graceful. That would be my thing.
you.
Yeah.
I think that that's always what I've wanted for myself, and I'm still working on it every day. But I think a lot of it is like Adam challenges me in that regard a lot. But I think that I have been working on that, and I have not always been very good at that, like, to be honest. And I'm trying to work on it now because I know that that is a quality that I would
Yes.
like to have when I have children.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to really rein myself in.
Yeah.
And I still have my days where I like go off about certain things that are like not a big deal. Honestly, all of last week I feel like was a bad week and for me, and I just like I was just letting my emotions get the best of me. I feel like every day, and mostly my anger, like letting my anger get the best of me and like just not speaking
Yeah.
or handling things the way that I should, mostly just with Adam, but like I guess only with Adam, but like I feel like within our little apartment, I feel like the energy was definitely off because I think I was not doing a good job regulating my emotions. So I am working on it, but thank you. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
From my side, it feels.
Obviously,
Yeah.
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 But and normally I would agree with you on that on a given
Mm-hmm.
like lately I've been better.
Yeah.
But last week was a rough week.
Yeah.
I keep lying. Every time I feel like it's because I give my thoughts after. And so I'm like, oh, I
Like
just read.
recapping, yeah. Okay, this one is not a question, but it's still good. Wild card, both players share something you're most grateful for in this current moment.
Okay. What's the category?
Yeah, I was going to say mine feels very broad.
Yeah. What I'm most thankful for is in this given moment. I guess I'm just gonna say like, ugh, I don't know. I'm thankful that everything works out the way that it's supposed to.
That's a good one. I was going to say like for this current stage. Like the time that we get to live next door, but like we're in this like in between stage where it's like we have found our person, but like we're not parents or have all these serious things. So it's just like this stage where we're at.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
like obviously as like the time gets closer that where we won't be living next door, that yeah, it's just a nice chapter.
I think that that's really a good point to make because I'm very thankful that like I'm sure you feel the same way. Like it's a very like relieving feeling knowing that you like found your person earlier, sooner rather than later because I know that like we don't have plan on having kids anytime soon, so like that's not an issue. It's like it's comforting and relieving like a weight off my chest to think that like cuz there are a lot of women, and not to say that like getting married is the end all be all because it's definitely not the end goal for a lot of people and you can be happily single for the rest of your life. But
Yeah.
like I know that there are a lot of women who like I feel like stress in their like
They
at a
always
certain
feel like they're
age.
looking for their person.
Yeah, or like they're on like because there's like a biological clock and whatever, and like if you want to, have kids by this age or whatever, and you want to do this and be realistic about things, like you have to be with that partner by this time or whatever, like following a timeline or whatever. And I'm happy that I get to do all of the exploring myself and life things and learning with the person that I know I'm going to be with.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy that like neither of us are having kids at this given moment just because it's like there's so much to do before then. Not so much to do, but just like so much
There's
to
so much
feel and
to
learn and
learn,
see
yeah.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Experience and all of those things.
Experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. What parts of yourself do you see in me?
All of them. Let's see. I would say I'm gonna shoot for 3, and I'm gonna say like just the education thing, like liking learning things, being good at learning, and just like kind of having a passion for that, I guess. And that not everyone likes that. So I'd say that's one thing. As broad as it is, kind of like on the last topic, is like how lucky we are to be at such similar places in life. I like that. Like, just a lot of people happen to not find their best friend be someone that's like exactly where they are, and there's like a lot of like that's totally fine and that's totally normal, but like the conversations can't always hit the same when it's like we just don't get it. Like, we're not lining up. Like, we're just like not like we're just ships in the night. I don't know. So just like I guess experiences, I would say, and kind of like where we're at in that way. And then I see in you. I guess just as broadly as just like just personality. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Just
Fair enough.
a lot of things because of how long we've been friends.
A lot of things.
All the
actually.
things, yeah. What can we create together?
A podcast. A sweater. A dream.
A dream. A life.
A house. A home.
2 houses. A home, yes.
A neighborhood.
A cul-de-sac.
Yes.
A driveway.
A beach house.
Yes.
A
vacation
A mailbox.
house.
A
A family.
So true. Are we gonna be like those one podcasters?
I was just thinking that all of our kids are gonna feel like family, but not that.
Watch out, Justin. You thought you found the one.
There's a whole other reason why we're morphing into each other.
Oh okay. Why do you think we met?
Why? What an interesting wording with no other words. Why do I think we met? Ooh, could go one of 2 ways here.
Yeah. You could say both.
I think that we met so that forever we would have a companion.
Yay! I'm glad you went that way.
So that there was always someone just like us that thought like us, and that we could
That would understand us.
plan
and
all
see
of our
us.
things and be there for all of our things. And that it was just meant to be our stable.
Woohoo!
Thank God.
Thank God. Wouldn't prefer it any other way.
Yeah. When in this game did you feel most connected to me? Probably during the staring contest. Right? Probably.
Probably that.
I don't like that card very much.
Yeah, I don't either.
Okay.
Cause like we're.
What about me most surprised you?
None of it, because I know you.
In one word, describe how you feel right now.
One word.
One word. One singular word.
Thankful.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, we have our final card is set off to the side. If we wanted to, was there one more? The final card.
There's a final card? I don't remember what it is. Oh, I remember what it is.
Each player write a message to the other, fold and exchange, open only once you two have parted. Okay, bye, guys. That was the end of the podcast for all regards. Either way, it wouldn't really matter because you guys would not be a part of it, so it wouldn't matter.
True.
But I think we had a lot of fun.
I
mean,
fun.
some of them are silly just because, like, obviously we do know each other. But I thought it was very fun to
I thought
still
so,
do.
too.
And it was different and thought-evoking. And
Yes.
I enjoyed our time spent together today with all of you and with Chloe.
Yay! Yeah, I also enjoyed all of that. And I always think it's fun, not always because I haven't played this game that much, but I think it's fun to play it with people you know because some of the questions, like, you wouldn't ask those questions to each
Yeah.
other. Like, I played with my siblings one time and I was like, this is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, especially like conversations you wouldn't normally be
Yeah.
having. Yeah.
I had fun and I hope you guys had fun listening.
Yeah. And we will see you next week.
Love ya. Bye.
Tune in to the 14 Steps Away podcast every Monday for a new episode. Don't forget to like, comment, follow, rate, review, and share. Watch every week on Spotify or YouTube, and listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.